Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, before I deliver my ministerial statement, I would like to wish the students taking part in the Coca-Cola Games the best in the events, and I also would like to wish the best to those who represented Fiji in the Commonwealth Games, those students who represented Fiji in the Commonwealth Games for the next 3 days of competition. Madam Speaker, I'm delighted to inform the House on the Commonwealth Games, which recently concluded. Team Fiji's performance, an update on the directions of sports development in our Pacific Island countries, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports direction moving forward. Madam Speaker, Team Fiji was made its 16th appearance in the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia, from April 4th to 18th, 2018. More than 6,600 athletes and teams officials from 71 Commonwealth nations and territories competed across 275 events. In the 2000 Gold Coast Games featured the largest integrated sports program in the Commonwealth Game history, comprising 18 sports and 7 para sports. There was also a number of new sports in the women's rugby 7, beach volleyball, and para triathlon. Of note, Madam Speaker, is that the Commonwealth Games Federation is addressing gender equality, and not only in the number of athletes and events, but also in the technical officials. Fiji, with 96 athletes competed in 12 sports, also made our first appearance in the men's rugby 7s tournament after 12 years of absence. I'm sure that this House will join me in acknowledging and congratulating Team Fiji for their overall performance at the game-winning gold from weightlifting, Elin Dikamatana, with games and senior and junior Commonwealth records and timings for the runners, and 1 silver from men's rugby, and 2 bronze medals each from weightlifting, Apollonia Waiwai, and boxer Winston Hill. Fiji finishes 23rd on the medals table of 71 nations participating at this year's Commonwealth Games. The Games provide the Ministry of Youth and Sports and our stakeholders an opportunity to assess areas that need attention and improvement. Madam Speaker, while many individual sports showed significant improvement, some need to standardize and realize their plans. My ministry will ensure that adequate support and assistance is provided to all competitive sports, and an opportunity of all sports to analyze and address the way forward to improvement. Having said that, Madam Speaker, our Pacific neighbors were well represented at the Games, and 8 Pacific nations winning a medal for any kind from the overall 29 countries in the medal table. This is a good news as Pacific Island countries, Pacific Island countries and area competing against the rest of the developed Commonwealth countries. This obviously changes in the Olympic and Paralympic Games, where competition is against over 200 countries. The Pacific Island countries have also pledged exchange of ideas and best practices to address sports development in the Pacific. This was established during the first Pacific Sports Ministers meeting held in Nadi over the Easter weekend in April 2018. Under the theme of strengthening sports and sustainable development, Minister engaged with presentation on action plans, policy coordination, sports autonomy, Pacific Games, regional priorities, and relationships with regional organizations. Madam Speaker, the Pacific Island Sports Minister meeting was the first to be held independently of the Pacific Games and the Pacific Mini Games. This allowed ministers responsible to sports to take ownership of sports matters in the Pacific, to share our aspiration, freely address issues, challenges, and identify solutions. With Fiji being the host of the Pacific meeting, Madam Speaker, I was given the opportunity to present our strategies to strengthen governance in sports in the Pacific at the 9th Commonwealth Sports Minister meeting in Gold Coast, Australia. Sports in the Pacific has unique attributes enabling a significant contribution to the national development process. Its popularity being a communication platform, its role in reducing the risk of non-communicable diseases, its foundation for healthy child development together with the ability to connect people, make it a tool that can be used to meet a range of development objectives. When used strategically, sports-based assistance can also make a measurable contribution to the Pacific development efforts. Pacific Sports Minister considered three main themes to guide national sports and physical education policy, including a comprehensive vision of inclusive access for all. Number two is to maximizing contribution of sports to sustainable development and peace, and protect the integrity of sports. We agreed to share research outcomes across the Pacific using existing new data across sources to access the current percentage contribution of sports to gross domestic product. We recognize the need to identify gaps in current data, frameworks measuring special indicators, setting baseline indicators, and create an evidence base to support policy formulation. Addressing this will help with our national priorities and contribute to the SDGs. Sport is defined as all form of physical activity that contribute to physical fitness, mental well-being, and social inclusion. This includes play, recreation, organized casual or competitive sports, and indigenous sports and games. To strengthen ongoing collaboration, we agreed to establish the Pacific Island Sports Minister Secretariat, which is the PISM in Tonga, and the Secretariat will support national and Pacific policy development, legislation, and regulation. It will also facilitate research analysis, dissemination with a focus on priority sports to promote Pacific talents, propose a new operational and funding model for the Pacific Games, and coordinate issue to be discussed by our Pacific Island Forum leaders. Recognizing the contribution of Australia and New Zealand to the sports for development agenda in the Pacific, we resolved to invite these two neighbors to relevant Pacific Island Sports Ministers meeting to discuss ongoing cooperation. Madam Speaker, the Pacific Sports Minister also called for a closer link between Commonwealth Game Association and governments. As Minister responsible for sports in the Pacific, we also identified the need for an assessment to be done on the return of our government investment in making the Commonwealth Games successful through the participation of our team. The exchange of ideas and best practices aims to curb the cost of non-communicable disease in our Pacific Island countries. Good health is a fundamental human right and has been recognized in Sustainable Development Goals. Good health is fundamental to the ability of individuals to realize our full human potential. Madam Speaker, low levels of health impede people's ability to work and earn a living for themselves and their families. When someone becomes ill, an entire family can become trapped in a downward spiral of loss of income, high health care costs. Also, healthier adults are more productive, and children free of disease and are better to learn at school and gain the skills needed to break out of poverty and help grow our economy. This is particularly evident when, with the outbreak of the Men's disease recently, where youth have been affected. The Honourable Minister of Health and Medical Services stated that there has been 46 cases of diseases recorded from January 1st to April 12th. Also, the Honourable Minister has stated that life-threatening men's diseases has claimed 11 lives in the country, 7 in which occurred last year, when additional 4 recorded this year. Other than non-communicable disease or NCDs, such as diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and chronic respiratory disease are growing rapidly, particularly in low and middle income countries like Fiji in the Pacific. In 2008, NCD accounted for an estimated 36 million deaths, or 63% worldwide. In the Pacific, 75% of all adult deaths are due to NCDs. At the 42nd Pacific Island Forum in 2011, Pacific Island leaders stated that NCDs has reached epidemic proportion in Pacific Island countries and territories. The statement highlighted the huge economic cost of NCDs and the potential to undermine the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Youth and Sports continue to emphasize that sports is well placed to help combat NCDs. Research shows that to reduce NCDs, we have to reduce exposure to the 4 common modifiable behavioral risk factors. Number 1 is unhealthy diets, the physical inactivity, tobacco use, and substance abuse. Sports is uniquely positioned to address physical inactivity by getting people more active more often. Sports also provides opportunities to deliver messaging and the other risk factor to large groups of people. People with disability among the most vulnerable in developing countries, they face many barriers preventing them from fully participation in society, social exclusion. Around 50% of the world's population, about 1 billion people, live with disability. Madam Speaker, research has shown that the value of sports in improving the inclusion and well-being of people with disability is improving. Sports work at 2 districts, but related levels at the individual level. Sports provides opportunity for social interaction and helps build confidence, self-esteem, and positive self-image. Sports also contributes to physical fitness, strength, range of movement, and independence. And the community level, sports can be used as an effective platform to deliver message about inclusion and the rights of people with disability. It also creates opportunity for people without a disability to encounter people with disability in a positive context. Gender equality is central to economic and human development. The Ministry of Youth and Sport is committed to being a firm and persistent advocate of gender equality, and has identified gender equality as a critical cross-cutting theme. A growing body of evidence shows that sports is a valuable tools for promoting gender equality and empowering women and girls. Sports can help to enhance girls' and women's health and well-being, significantly reducing the risk of osteoporosis, breast cancer, and depression, conditions which disproportionately affect women. It builds self-esteem and empowerment. Sport can also facilitate social inclusion and integration, challenges gender norms, and provide opportunity for leadership and achievement, recognizing the additional barriers faced by women and girls, such as the lack of childcare and their household and care responsibility, hinder their full participation. Sports plays a role in empowering women with society and delivers important behavioral messages on topics such as on sexual and maternal health. Madam Speaker, women involvement in sports is an entry point to normalize in the eyes of both women and men. Well-run sports-based activities contribute to safer and more secure communities by engaging young men and women in meaningful activities and diverting them from antisocial behaviors. Sports helps build a sense of shared identity and fellowship among groups that may otherwise be inclined to treat each other with distrust, hostility, and possibly violence. Sports participants to adhere to rules regardless of participants' social, economic background, or cultural status. By establishing community sports organizations and engaging community members and youth as sports volunteers, sports help promote community leadership, foster great community involvement in decision-making, and great social ties and community infrastructure, which contributes to improve peace and community stability. We recognize, for example, the role of women participation in decision-making as benefiting the whole community, not only in strengthening women leadership, but also ensuring that the broader interests of community are taken into account. The Ministry of Youth and Sport has taken the lead role in advocating the needs for sports development in the country. We have had multiple occasions provided much needed support to encourage youth development through the means of sports. The ministry upholds the dedication, the perseverance and hard work of Team Fiji and all the neighboring Pacific Island countries during the Commonwealth Games. The ministry upholds the vision of the government in supporting sports as an economic development tool and promoting the reputation of Fiji internationally. And I thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.